Hello everyone, welcome back to our SEPRO training session. For this session, I would like to show the suppliers on how to create credit memo.
First, from your email inbox, search for the PO number 4500594141 and click on that. After that, click on the first email of the PO. Now, we click on the Process Order button.
To create a credit memo,
we will start from the Purchase Order screen in the supplier's account.
Here, as we can see, there's an invoice button that has been submitted earlier. Click on the invoice. For credit memo, supplier may create credit memo if there are any discrepancies from the earlier invoice submitted. To proceed with this, click on Create Line Item Credit Memo here. Now, we are in the Create Line Item Credit Memo page. From here, supplier will fill in the relevant information in the required fields. For starter, select your credit memo type, whether to choose on quantity adjustment or price adjustment. So in this case, we will go for the first one, which is quantity adjustment. Next is to fill in the credit memo number and credit memo date. Please take note that these are the mandatory fields for the credit memo to be submitted. So we fill in the credit memo number, and the credit memo date here. Now for supplier tax ID, if the supplier has the necessary info to fill this, please fill in accordingly. For the shipping, there is also an option to choose header level shipping or line level shipping. So in this case, we will choose on header level shipping. In the additional fields, here are also an optional fields for supplier to fill in, such as supplier account ID number, customer reference, supplier reference, payment note, service start date, service end date, and email. For the comment section, one of the mandatory fields to fill in from the supplier is the reason for the credit memo. So supplier has to fill in accordingly. So I filled in the reasons for the credit memo. For the second field, which is default credit memo comment text, this is an optional field for the supplier to fill in. The next section is additional Malaysia specific information. For supplier SSD ID and customer VAT ID or tax ID, this is also optional fields for supplier to fill in. Now, for the line items, here we have to make sure that the line items are filled in accordingly, where the supplier has to insert the quantity or amount of line items credit memo. So we have chosen the quantity adjustment earlier. So for this case, let's just put 1 for each of the line items. For the text category, please ensure that the line items has been populated with text. If not, supplier has to click in text category and add to included lines. In this case, the text has been populated in line item 1 and line item 2 here. After that, supplier is required to attach the attachment of credit memo. So, supplier has to click on one of the line item box and click on the drop-down line item actions and click on attachment. Now, supplier has to choose the file and then add on attachment to upload it. Now, as we can see here, once the attachment have been uploaded, supplier can click on Next to proceed. Supplier now can review the information entered previously. To confirm on submission of the credit memo, please click Submit. Now, supplier can exit invoice creation of the credit memo that has been submitted. To check on the credit memo that has been submitted, supplier will receive an email notification on the invoice credit memo that has been submitted. For example, this is the email notification of the submitted credit memo. So we click on it, and as we can see, the credit memo status has been sent. Besides that, supplier will also receive an email notification when the submitted credit memo has been approved. So we click on this Approve Credit Memo, and we can see that from the status in credit memo has been approved. Last but not least, supplier can also review the details of the approved credit memo in Ariba network through the supplier account by clicking on the credit memo number on the right here. So when they click, from here we can see that the status of the line item credit memo has been approved. That's all.